Hey there, Irene. I was just curious if you were still working or if you had already finished for the night.
Oh, hey, Mom. Yes, I finished work. What's up? Is everything okay?
Does something have to be wrong just for a mother to want to talk to her daughter? I was just going to ask how you've been and if you're doing well. You know, you really should be trying just a little harder to reach out to me.
Well, yes, I am doing well. Thank you for asking. And I'm not sure what you meant by that since we were messaging last week.
Well, I am talking about phone calls. Just sending your mom a text now and then doesn't count, you know. So are you available to talk to me on the phone right now?
I'm sorry, Mom, but I'm on the bus back home right now. But I'll be more than happy to call you once I'm back home. Do you think you can wait about an hour?
You really think that I can stay up until 9 at night for you? That's my bedtime, I'll have you know.
Oh, I see. Well then, I guess it just means we'll have to make this call work a different time then, huh?
It appears that way, yes, but how's your husband Jim and my little grandbaby Max? Are they doing well?
Yeah, they're doing alright. But I think we've all just been quite busy recently. Although I guess it's since Jim is a freelancer, he is probably grateful to have so much more work right now.
Oh, that's right. Well, I just hope that you two are at least getting the rest that you need as well as taking care of yourselves. But I really do want to see you as soon as possible. When are we all going to be able to get back together again?
Well, you know that we already have plans to go over and stay with you around the New Year's, right?
New Year's? Oh, but that's so far away. You know, we're having your grandfather's memorial service in a few months. Don't you think you could make it for that?
You mean the memorial service to make 7 years since he passed away? I thought you said I didn't have to go to that, so I wasn't really planning on being there.
Did I really say that to you?
Yeah, we were talking about how far away the drive would be and how difficult it would be to fit into our schedule. You said that you didn't want me spending all that money and going all that way just to be there for such a short time. Not to mention the fact that I remember you mentioning about how there are already so many people who are going to be coming over. And we might not even have a place to stay with you.
Well, yes, that is true, and your grandmother is already plenty worried about having so many people around the house, but I really would like it if you made more of an effort to visit us down there. I mean, you can't just put off seeing your family until the end of the year, you know.
Well, I'm sorry, Mom, but you live really far away, and it isn't cheap to do all that traveling. Besides, you also make visiting home feel so tense sometimes.
Just because I ask you to have some manners when you're in my house doesn't mean I'm making things tense.
I'm just not really sure why you want us there so badly, though. I mean, Jack got married to his wife, and now they're both living there with you and Grandma, right?
Oh, yes, but you don't need to be worried about them. Besides, Jack is your little brother, and his wife is part of the family now. Don't you know that we all miss seeing you?
Well, it sounds to me like there'll just be more tension and having to walk on eggshells over there. I mean, I've seen the way you work Jack's wife, Anne. And I'm sure that if I visited home that you'd put me to work and wouldn't let me rest at all either.
Oh, but what are you complaining about? Don't you know that it's a woman's job to keep the house clean and take care of her family?
I mean, sure, that might have been all that we did in the 50s or something. But you really can't be treating people like that anymore.
You have no idea what you're talking about. I treat everyone just fine, and no one has ever had any problems with me.
You know, I really don't think most people would agree with that. You're always trying to rush people and make them feel like they have to finish what they're doing and move on to the next thing.
Well, sometimes there are things that need to be done, and I'm not going to apologize for wanting efficiency. Besides, have you seen Anne? She's like a whale, and I'm only trying to thin her up a bit.
Okay, Mom, now you really are just being rude about all of this. And what does that have to do with anything?
Come on, do you really think that someone that fat should be a part of our family? She needs to at least try and move.
I really don't think that we should be trying to control the bodies of our family, Mom. And I think that's a really rude thing to care so much about.
And what is so rude about my wanting to make sure that my daughter-in-law doesn't die in 5 years from heart failure, huh? And don't you know how embarrassing it is to have her be at family reunions? Everyone is also talking behind her back about how we let her into our family.
Again, I really don't think Anne needs to do anything at all to conform to what other people say about her body. Besides, if Jack loves her, that should be enough. Not only that, but I really don't think that anyone from our family talks about her behind her back. If anything, she seems to get along with everyone.
Oh, you have no idea how much I can't stand people like her. I mean, if she can't even take care of herself, then how is she supposed to take care of a family? She really is just a pig.
Mom, please stop saying things like that. It's really rude and uncalled for. I think Anna is a lovely and kind person, and I really like her. And you haven't said one word about her personality, or how she makes Jack feel, or anything like that. You've only been talking about her appearance.
Well, that's because that's all that everyone sees when we have to go out in public with her. But I bet half the people who see her are wondering if she's going to keel over at some point. You realize that I'm only saying all of this because of how worried I am for Anne, don't you? How is she supposed to have any kids in her shape?
Mom, you seriously need to stop. I mean it. And don't you dare ever say any of this to Anne, you understand me?
Just what has gotten into you, Irene? What is this all about?
I mean that you do not get to put Anne down because you're worried about her having kids. That is a choice between her and Jack to make. And if for whatever reason they choose not to have kids or are unable to, then you just have to accept that.
And why should I have to accept that? Why can't you see that I really am just concerned for Anne's well-being here?
Because, Mom, a lot of people will attribute so many health problems someone might have just to them being fat. But life isn't that simple, and you don't know what kind of underlying conditions that she might also have. So since you don't know Anne's medical history, maybe you should just butt out of her business.
I don't get why you don't want me to talk to her about this, though. I mean, how am I supposed to know about her medical background if I don't ask her?
You just don't ask her, Mom. It really is that simple. So just please try and keep your comments about her to yourself, okay? Hey, Mom. I was just curious about how the memorial service for Grandpa went. You did do it yesterday, right?
Oh, it really was just lovely. I invited more people than usual this year, thinking that not all of them would show up. But it was a huge turnout, and there were so many people there to remember your grandpa. I suppose in the end, it's probably best that you didn't come. I mean, we ended up having to offer to split hotel room costs for some guests since we just couldn't house them all.
Oh, wow. Well, it sounds to me like you got a really big crowd to turn up yesterday then.
I'll say, I think we had over 30 people there in total.
30 people? Well, I guess now I understand why your house was overflowing.
It really was quite a sight. I mean, I just feel like I haven't seen that many friends and family in one place in a while, so it was great.
I'm glad to hear it. I bet the last time we even had that many people together was probably Jack and Anne's wedding, huh? I bet Grandma was stressing out with so many people in the house. But she's also the kind of person that enjoys it, even if she'd never say it.
I think we all had a good time, and I saw your grandma smiling and talking all day. Not only that, but we even set up the grill outside, and some of the kids had some fireworks to set off.
Oh man. Well, now I really do wish that I could have made it over to see all of that.
Yeah, it really would have been nice if you could have made it. Everyone was asking about where you were.
Well, I do wish that I could have gone now. But did you take any pictures of it? I'd love to see some if you have.
Oh yes, I have a few pictures from yesterday that I can send you if you like.
Yeah, that would be great. Please send me those photos that you took of the service yesterday.
Sure thing. So, I'll go ahead and send those pictures over to you right now.
Thank you, Mom. I'm glad you had a good time. Hey, Anne. How's it going? It's been a while since I last shot you a message. But I hope you had a good time at the memorial service the other day.
Oh, hey there, Irene. Thanks for reaching out. It's so good to hear from you. I was actually wondering if you were going to be at the service, but you never showed up.
I know, but we just live so far away, and it's really tough to travel all the way out here. But my mom did send me some of the photos of the event. She even sent me a photo of you, and I have to say, I was pretty shocked. I mean, it looks like you've lost a lot of weight since I last saw you. Are you on some kind of new diet or something like that?
Not really a diet, but since I'm the daughter-in-law living at home, I can only have one meal a day, as you know.
Wait, what? Is there some kind of rule that says you can only eat once a day?
Well, I mean, I was told that I was eating too much and was too fat, so I was made to cut back.
Hold on a second. Who said that to you? Did someone from my family tell you that?
Yeah, your mom and brother both told me the same thing.
I don't believe it. How could they say something like that to you? It's just horrible. I'm sorry you had to deal with that, Anne.
I mean, I got pretty used to them calling me fatty every single day. In fact, that's basically just how they started referring to me after a while. But it's okay. I've been called much worse in my life, so it's not the end of the world.
Anne, you know that you shouldn't have to put up with that, right? I'm so sorry that my family has treated you that way.
Oh, come on. I know that you probably feel the same exact way about me, right? You're so stylish and good-looking. There's no way you don't look down on me.
Anne, what are you saying? Of course I don't feel that way at all.
Well, I know that at our wedding you told me a bunch of times how cute and pretty you thought I looked. But I know that on the inside you were just insulting me too, right?
Anne, I'm so sorry that you think that's the case, but it really isn't. I promise that I've never once looked down on you. But I'm not surprised at all that my mother and brother would act in such a horrible way towards you. How could they think it's okay to treat someone like that, though? I've never once cared about how you look.
Do you really mean that, Irene?
Of course I mean that. And I really am so sorry that those two have been putting you through all this.
So then, you really never cared at all about how I used to look? Even though your mom and brother made fun of me for it all the time?
I want you to know that I don't think like them at all. They just see a larger person and automatically assume that every health issue they might have is because of their weight. But I told my mom to keep her opinions on that to herself for all the good it did.
Oh, I see. Well, I really had no idea that you felt differently about this.
Well, what I want to know is how you've been getting along with just one meal a day. I mean, sure, you've lost weight, but that can't be healthy, right? Are you okay?
I really don't know anymore. Your mom was saying that she was applying this rule for my own good. But most days I just feel like I could pass out at any moment, and I haven't even had a period in the past 3 months.
Oh my gosh. And your poor body must be going through so much. There's nothing good about losing weight if it's going to cost you your health.
Yeah, but your mom is always saying that if I want to be pretty and healthy, then I have to keep losing weight. But I think it's just doing the opposite. My skin has been looking deflated and saggy, and even my hair is starting to fall out in the shower. I feel like I've aged 10 years since I've started this.
Well, I'm sure that my mom is just so sure of herself that she's right about this. But it shouldn't be happening. This is so horrible. I don't know what else to say.
Well, do you think that maybe you could try talking to your mom or brother about this for me? Because I really don't know how much longer I can hold out like this. And anytime I try and say anything, I just get ignored and told this is for my own good, but it doesn't feel good at all.
Yes, of course I can speak to them. Those two are out of their minds if they think it's okay to treat someone like this.
I really am sorry asking you to do this for me. I know that this isn't your problem.
It's my problem if my family are treating others this way. But if they won't listen to you, then maybe they'll listen to me.
Thank you so much for understanding, Irene. I really appreciate it.
Hey, Mom, are you there? I was wondering if you had a moment to text real quick.
Oh, this is perfect timing. I actually just finished what I was doing, and Anne and Jack have gone out somewhere together. I think they both have off of work today or something like that, so they must be going out on a date or something like that.
Actually, the two of them are both right here with me.
Wait, what? You mean that Anne and Jack are both there with you right now? I don't understand. Are you coming to visit me?
That's right. I'm finally coming home to visit.
And just why are you doing that? I mean, you should have told me you were going to do this sooner. And why are you just with those two and not me too? That's not fair. What are the three of you even doing together, huh?
Well, if you really must know, we're all at the hospital right now.
You're at the hospital? I don't understand. What are you doing there? Is everyone okay? Did you get sick on the plane ride over here or something?
No, and I'm not the one being looked at the hospital right now. It's Anne who's being examined.
Wait a second. Don't tell me that she's finally pregnant. I knew it. I knew if she just lost a bit of weight that she could have children. I knew it. I was right all along.
No, Mom. Anne isn't pregnant, and the doctors are saying that there's no way she's going to be able to in her state. Did you know that Anne hasn't even had a period in 3 months?
Wait, what? But I don't get it. How can she not have kids after all the weight that she's lost? It doesn't make sense.
It's because all this rapid weight loss isn't good for her, Mom. The doctor was just explaining that to us. The doctor said that forcing someone to eat like this is basically the same as physical abuse for what it does to the body. And I made sure to explain to the doctor that you were the one insisting on this.
Hold on a second. That doctor really just called my diet abuse? How in the world is helping some fatty slim down abuse? Besides, she's my daughter-in-law and I know what's best for her.
You don't know what you're talking about at all, Mom. And Anne was just fine the way she was. The doctor says she was much healthier than she is now anyways. Don't you know that these kinds of extreme diets are really harmful to the body? Don't you know the negative effects they can have? How could you force someone to live that way you were making Anne live?
Okay, now you're just being ridiculous. The most weight you lose, the healthier you are. It's simple science. I think that you probably just have one of those sensitive doctors that are too scared to call a patient fat to their face. Your whole generation is so sensitive these days.
Mom, you literally have no idea what you're talking about. Losing weight is not always a healthy thing to do. And the doctor has called what you've been forcing Anne to go through abuse. So how about you look in a mirror before throwing around accusations? Not only that, but you need to apologize to Anne for the horrible way you've been treating her.
What are you talking about? I was doing all of this for Anne's sake to begin with. I didn't even do anything wrong.
I don't care if you thought you were doing right by her. The fact of the matter is you've been forcing Anne into an unhealthy lifestyle.
Well, I'm not going to apologize. I don't have anything to apologize for, and I won't be pressured into doing so by a bunch of sensitive children.
Are you sure you don't want to consider that just a little more, Mom?
I am telling you that I didn't do anything wrong, and if Anne's body needs some time to adjust to its new form, then that's fine. Because once she gets used to it, she'll thank me for how skinny and pretty I've made her.
Mom, we are talking about health, biological health. I don't care about what you think a beautiful person looks like.
And I'm telling you that lots of people would look much better in this world if they went on a diet, so I still don't think I've done anything wrong.
Even though the doctor has evidence that this diet has been horrible for Anne's health? Do you really only care about what number shows up on the scale?
You don't understand. Having to take that pig out in public led to so many stares and whispers and people laughing at us. I didn't just do it for her. I did it for the good of our family's reputation.
I seriously can't even talk to you like this right now. But if you're not going to apologize or even reflect on your actions, then you're leaving me no choice.
What is that supposed to mean? What do you think you can do to me?
Well, first of all, I'm going to rescue Anne from your house and put her up somewhere else for a while. She isn't going to spend another minute in your house.
Hey, what the heck is this about, huh? Why is there some lawyer standing in front of my door?
Well, I told you that I was going to take action over this, didn't I? I hope you didn't think I was joking.
Just tell me where Anne is. I've tried calling her number over and over again, but she isn't picking up. If the two of you have a problem with me, then why don't you say it to my face instead of cowering behind some lawyer?
Mom, Anne never wants to see you again after the trauma that you've put her through. Her poor health is all your fault. Do you realize that? Besides, I said that I'd protect her from you, so why would we come and talk to you? Both the doctor and the lawyer agreed that it was best if you kept far, far away from us.
But is she really going to be suing Jack and I over this? She's really going to try and make us pay for this? How could she do this to us?
What part of abuse don't you understand? You know that's a crime, right? You said all kinds of horrible things to Anne, and basically were starving her. That's plenty hurtful.
But, I mean, she didn't have to go and hire a lawyer. That's taking things way too far. Please, let me have a chat with her. Can you at least tell me where you are?
No, that would defeat the whole purpose of keeping distance between us. If you have anything to say to me, you can speak to the lawyer.
I don't believe this. You're my daughter and you're really going to stab me in the back like this? You're horrible. How could you do this to your own mother?
I'm sorry, Mom, but the fact of the matter is that you did this to yourself. And I'm not going to stand by and let you and Jack hurt Anne any longer. Neither of us are ever going to forgive you for what you've done, and I'm going to make sure Anne never has to go back to that house again.
And you're really fine just letting that little ingrate sue your brother too?
Oh, please. Anne is way too good for Jack. They're getting a divorce, and you both are going to pay for what you've done to her.
How am I supposed to live if you sue me? I'm not going to be able to make it with just my pension.
Well, you still have the house and everything in it, don't you? Sounds to me like you might have to find some local pawn shops.
So you're really fine ruining your mother for the rest of her life?
I'm fine forcing you to pay compensation for something bad that you did. If that's what you mean.
Don't you realize what you're doing to me? You're a horrible, selfish daughter.
Say all you want, but just know that I'm handing over everything to the lawyer, so you can either talk to him or keep insulting Anne and I. The choice is yours, but either way, I'm going to be ignoring your messages. See you in court, Mom. After that, Anne did follow through with her promise to sue my mom and brother, and she won. They both were fined a large amount of money, and my mom had to sell the house just to afford it. Then, Anne and Jack got their divorce, and Anne was finally free. I heard that Jack and my mom ended up moving into a tiny little apartment together. Since they also had to take out hefty loans to afford the legal fees, they had no choice but to downsize in order to keep up on the payments. I told the rest of my family about all the horrible things they put Anne through, and now nobody talks to those two. Of course, that's not how I wanted things to end up, but I saw Anne suffering and couldn't just sit back. I'm glad that I helped Anne and her, and I still talk frequently. She's recovering and is beginning to look like her old, happy, healthy self again.
Hey, Mom, will you be home late again today? Dad made stew for supper again.
Oh, he did?
You will eat some when you get home this time, right?
Listen, Emily, I need you to pass on a message to your dad. Tell him to quit doing things for me without asking. It's downright irritating.
Huh? What kind of attitude is that? Surely you mean, thanks for making my supper.
I get that he's bored and has nothing but free time on his hands after retiring, but I'd rather he didn't pretend like we were this happy, loved-up couple. If I'm honest, he's been nothing but a thorn in my side lately.
Pretend what?
Don't forget that I'm the one working long hours and putting food on the table for us all now. I am the breadwinner of this family. All your dad does is eat, sleep, and laze around the house, so he sure as heck isn't in any position to be complaining at me.
What are you talking about? Isn't the fact that Dad's able to live off his pension now proof that he worked hard all his life? What's wrong with him taking it easy after all he's done for us? I don't understand. You're a hard-working career woman, and I think that's something to be proud of, but at the same time, I think you should be more respectful with the way you speak about Dad.
Good grief, I don't need a lecture from the likes of you. So, you're taking his side in all of this, are you?
This isn't about taking sides, Mom. What are we, 6-year-olds? Both you and Dad have worked hard to provide for this family. It's not a competition. I fail to see the problem with Dad relaxing and living off his pension after working his ass off for over 50 years. In 10 more years, you'll be retiring and doing the same yourself, right? I'm not saying you should get on your knees and thank him for his efforts, but surely you could at least not be so disrespectful towards him.
Yeah, whatever. Is the sermon over now? If you'll excuse me, I'm surrounded by mountains of invoices and they aren't going to complete themselves. Unlike your father, some of us have work to do. I'll be eating in the office cafeteria tonight, so I won't be needing your dad's crummy stew.
Wow, I see how it is. You didn't take in a single word of what I just said, did you? And are you seriously insulting his stew now, too?
Ugh. You know, Mom, you're seriously starting to rile me up. I suggest you reevaluate the way you talk about my dad, and soon.
Hey, Emily, my sweet, delicious honey pie. Is now a good time? There's something I need to check with you.
Good morning, Chester, my rugged love muffin. It's not like you to message me this early. What's up?
Well, did your mom sleep away from the house last night by any chance? Or was she at home with you and your dad?
My mom? Apparently there was some trouble at the office that made her miss the last train, and she couldn't get a hold of a taxi without waiting over an hour. So she decided to sleep at a hotel near her company. She should be going straight to work from the hotel today.
I see. Is that what she told you?
Yes. This kind of thing has become pretty common ever since she got that promotion. To be honest, if anything, it's more unusual for her to be at home these days. She's the manager of a new department, so apparently she's constantly burdened with huge amounts of responsibility. And overtime has practically become part of her regular working hours.
I see.
What is it? Do you know something about my mom?
Well, it's just that... To be honest, I was hesitating about whether to mention this to you, what with me and you getting married next month. I thought maybe the timing was a bit off. But then kicking the can down the road ain't gonna do anyone any favors either.
Huh? If there's something bugging you, then you should tell me.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry for dragging it out. I bet I sound crazy dramatic right about now. To be honest with you, it's pretty heavy.
To tell you the truth, I think my mom's been acting weird for a while now. I get the impression she's hiding something from me and my dad, so if you know anything, I'd like to hear it.
You do? I see.
Yep, and I'm not the only one. My dad's feeling pretty anxious over the way she's behaving too, so go on, tell me.
Your dad too? Huh. Damn. In that case, I really should tell you. Alright, babe, I'll tell you. I'm serious, though, it's heavy. You might want to sit down for this one.
Okay, I'm ready.
The thing is, I think your mom might be having an affair.
What?
You know that big, flashy, extravagant hotel that looks like a castle I go past on my way to work?
Yeah, the one with a reputation for being seedy and attracting a less than respectable clientele?
Bingo. Well, the thing is, last night on my way home from work, I just so happened to see your mom going in there with one of my coworkers.
Whoa, what the heck? Hang on a sec. How old is your coworker?
The same age as me.
What? Oh my god, are you serious? I'm shocked enough that she's having an affair, but to think she's cheating on my dad with someone old enough to be her son? That's disgusting.
If she wasn't married, there wouldn't be an issue. I mean, it'd still be kinda weird, but if it made them happy, then who would we be to comment, right? Of course, she is married, though. And that's not all. Your dad isn't the only one being cheated on here. My coworker is married. With kids.
Oh my god, he's married too?
I'm sorry, babe. I know how shocking this is.
It's fine. I appreciate you telling me. Should I tell my dad about this? He might have some questions for you if I do.
That's fine. I don't mind.
Alright, got it. I'm sorry to trouble you like this. Knowing what my dad's like, I wouldn't be surprised if he hired a private investigator to gather evidence for him.
Got it. I'm happy to go along with whatever your dad decides he wants to do. I should probably tell my mom and dad about it too. They think you're amazing though, so don't worry. It won't make them opposed to the wedding or anything like that.
Okay, I'm sorry. And thank you, Chester. Mom, I didn't see you this morning and now you're not even at the church? Where the hell are you? Mom, how about you answer the frickin' phone? What do you want? My phone is blowing up because of you, you silly girl. Answer me. Where are you? At work, obviously. I'm always at work. Why even bother asking questions you already knew the answer to? You're at work today? Yes, I had to come in on my day off due to some trouble at the office. This has been decided since last week. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy at work, so quit bugging me. I might have to stay at the office again tonight, so if you don't hear from me again, that's why. So you're at work, are you? Yes. Now, if you understand, you can stop messaging me now. Mom, sorry to bug you while you're away having an affair, but today is my wedding day. Huh? Oh, you forgot, huh? Fine, I've heard enough now. This conversation is over. What What the? No! Wait a second, dear. Wasn't your wedding supposed to be next week? No, next week's when we leave for the honeymoon. Wait. Seriously? Don't bother showing up at the church today. I think you'd sorely regret it if you did. You see, I'm currently in the process of apologizing to everybody, including our relatives and Chester's entire family, for your absence.
You're doing what now?
Rest assured, I'm telling everybody exactly why you're not here, because you're on vacation having an affair with your lover.
What the hell do you think you're playing at, you silly little girl? Do you have any idea how much damage you'll do to my reputation?
I'm just relieved that Chester's parents were kind and big-hearted enough to understand that your despicable behavior isn't a reflection on me and didn't change their minds on giving us their blessing for the wedding.
Stop, I'm on my way to the church.
The wedding will be over by the time you get here.
Huh? What do you mean?
It would take you 3 hours to drive out all this way. Even if you left right this instant, you still wouldn't come close to making it on time.
What? How the hell do you know that?
Because Dad hired a private investigator who found out which hotel you and your lover are staying at.
A private investigator? Has he lost his mind?
He already found out about how your lover is one of your clients from another company. In fact, we've known for a while now.
Oh my God! Oh, this can't be happening!
Whatever you do now, it's too little, too late, so you may as well give up. I'm sorry to spoil your cheater's vacation with Loverboy, Mom. I feel bad. You were so excited about it you forgot your own daughter's wedding.
How about you just forget about this whole thing and enjoy your time away? Your lover is obviously far, far more important to you than me and Dad ever were. Oh my God, Emily, please.
I still have some preparations to make for the wedding.
Bye. Emily, oh my God. Do you know where your dad went? I can't find him anywhere. He's not at the house.
What do you want?
I just canceled my vacation and came home, but all of your dad's things are gone and he's nowhere to be seen.
Wow, you only just noticed?
What do you mean, only just? How long has he been gone?
Dad started moving his things a week ago.
A week ago?
He left a set of signed divorce papers in a folder containing all the proof of your affair with me this morning. You'll find them on the living room table. Oh, and he obviously has separate copies of the evidence, so destroying it won't accomplish anything. Dad felt awful about asking me to deal with something so crappy on my wedding day. And to be honest, I felt awful about how awful he felt. That said, I felt I had an obligation to take them to the house. In my mind, it was my way of declaring the end of our relationship and making the mental preparations to remove you from my life.
Remove me from your life? What on earth are you talking about, Emily? Don't say such crazy things.
How is it crazy? This was obviously going to happen. How did you think I'd react to finding out my mom was having an affair with a guy twice her age? How did you think I'd react to you being so wrapped up in your affair that you'd forget your own daughter's wedding day? You disgust me.
Oh my God, what are you even saying? This is no way to speak to your mother.
You mean the same mother whose cheater's vacation was more important to her than my wedding? You betrayed me, Mom. Do you have any idea how I felt? Do you have any idea how Dad feels after you betrayed him by cheating on him with some pipsqueak office nerd? Half his age after he spent his entire life doing backbreaking manual labor to provide for you and this family.
That's,
Oh, and let's not forget your lover's wife. Do you have any idea how she feels? Do you have any idea how any of us feel? The answer is no, isn't it? Because you don't care.
What am I even supposed to say to that?
It's okay to admit you're a narcissistic manipulator who doesn't give a rat's ass about other people. We're cutting you out of our lives for good now anyway, so it's not like it makes any difference.
You're cutting me out of your lives?
Make no mistake, though, you will pay for what you did to us, you lying, cheating waste of space. You can't escape from the hellfire that's about to rain down on you, you despicable witch. Pay? Goodbye! Emily, please. You have to tell your dad to withdraw this compensation claim. There's no way I can afford to pay all this. Has he lost his mind? I already lost my job. My boss found out I was giving Chad preferential treatment on our business contracts to keep him happy so he wouldn't break up with me. In a certain sense, I'm the victim in all this. My asshole boyfriend's the one who's in the wrong for making sexual advances against me to get ahead at work. Hello? Are you looking at these messages? I can see the tick marks. Stop ignoring me. Emily, please, I'm begging you. Isn't there some way we can make all of this go away? I feel terrible about what I did. Simply terrible. Honestly, I don't know what came over me and made me act so stupidly. I'm begging you, won't you please talk to your father? Won't you make him see sense? He'll listen to you. Won't you tell him to forgive me, please? Oh, pretty please, with a cherry on top? I'm begging you. You have to save our marriage, darling. Emily! Why won't you answer my calls? Why are you ignoring my messages? Don't I at least deserve a reply? I'm your mother! I am the victim in all this, goddammit! You're my daughter. Surely you understand how none of this is my fault. Emily! I didn't have the energy to respond to any of my mom's crap, so I tried to pretend I blocked her. Unfortunately, she wasn't as tech-illiterate as I'd hoped, and she realized I could see her messages when she saw the tick marks, meaning I had no choice but to actually block her before the notifications drove me insane. The next day, just to be safe, I got a new number. True to form as the most stubborn person I've ever known, she refused to agree to the divorce for a whole 6 months, constantly insisting that she, and not my dad, was the victim in all of this. Eventually, my mom's brother, my uncle, lost his patience and gave her a furious lecture said to be so loud it could be heard from 5 blocks away. And with that, she finally agreed to sign the divorce papers. To my surprise, she even paid my dad all of the compensation he asked for in one lump sum. Who knows, maybe she does have a conscience after all. I wouldn't bet on it, though. Newly single and afraid of being alone, my mom did try showing up at her ex-lover's place after finding out his wife had also divorced him. But unfortunately for my mom, he had found himself a new girlfriend during the 6 months she'd spent fighting the divorce. And it was at that moment that the grave reality that he'd been using her as a tool to advance his career truly sunk in. With that, consumed with jealous rage, she transformed into a feral beast and launched an attack on them as they went out for a meal at a restaurant one evening. I don't know the details, but I do know that the police were called and charges were filed. As for me, Chester, and my dad, all we can say is thank God we cut her out of our lives. Life's too short to keep toxic people like my ex-mom around. Here's to the future.